this video, I'm going to show you how to create a simple application, a console app using C#. So we are going to be using Visual Studio. There are instructions in your lab 1 that will tell you how to install Visual Studio if you don't already have one. It does not matter what version you have unless you have something really, really old. So 2017, 2019, they're all fine. So you can go in here and find Visual Studio, or you can type here and then find Visual Studio. You can say Visual Studio and find it. I have it down here because I use it a lot. So I click on that icon and then it opens this first startup page. So I'm going to say I want to create a brand new project. File, new project. Here's where some students struggle. They create the wrong kind of project. They create a class library, they create a Visual Basic code. So you want to be really sure that you're creating a console app. So you have to be on top of this. You have to be highlighted. The Visual C# has to be highlighted. On the right side, you would see all types of projects you can create. We are interested in the console app.NET framework. So that is the one that we are going to be creating. So click on that and make sure it is selected. If you come down here, first is the name of this particular project. I'm going to call it as Hello World. Second, here is the location. Where do we want to store? So here is the path that I want. I'm going to be creating a new folder. And I would suggest that you do the same. Use the name of the class as your folder name, because all subsequent code that you would create will go to this particular folder. Okay, so you give a name. So choose console app.NET framework, give a name, choose a path. Inside this, it's going to create a folder called Hello World. So click OK. A brand new project has been created for us called as Hello World. The advantage of using code using .NET framework is that it gives you boilerplate code, which means it creates some of the basic structure, the folder structure, and also like a template code for us to begin coding. So when you say console app, it creates a specific structure for your folder and your files. When you say a web application, it would do a similar structure, but it's a little different than a console application. So if you go to the path that we chose, so it was Spring 2020 ID 1050. If you go in there, like I said, it creates a folder called as Hello World, the same as our project name. If you go inside here, all of this is created for you. So this is a solution file. A solution file can contain one or more projects. So you could have like multiple projects inside one solution. So this is a project file. And then here is the actual code, program.cs. You can change the name. That is okay. So let's go back to our Visual Studio. So what you see here is program.cs. So on the left side, the window here is program.cs. All of this is called program.cs, and on the right side it shows you all the files. You can like see, if you're referencing something externally and all that stuff. So there is a lot of default references added for us. If you read like chapter 1 in your book, you can see what Microsoft.NET framework is all about. It is just a bunch of libraries put together, and it helps you to write code faster. Rapid application development is the concept here. So it makes life much easier for us, so we don't have to reinvent the wheel. So let's look at the code here. So namespace is going to be like a library. See, these are all namespaces, and they have functionality inside that we can use. So the using is a directive. You would say using a name of a namespace, using space a namespace name. That is how you would include a library if you have any functionality. For example, if you want to use collections in your application, then you would include this particular directive. If you don't use collections, in which is our case, we don't need it. We only need basic stuff. Here, we don't even need system because we have not done anything yet. So using is a directive to include libraries. Or to be more precise, include a namespace. A namespace is a library. So we are creating a namespace here called Hello World. We are going to ignore this particular name here, class program. Let's assume that it's there and we are not going to worry about it anymore. The static void main is the entry point. Static void main is the entry point, which means this statement is required for you to be able to do a console application. Anytime you run this code, it is going to come to this particular function. This is actually a method, function method, whatever you want to call it. And it is going to start here. If you don't have this statement, it doesn't know what to do with it. Okay, so right after you create your Hello World application, make sure that this is all the code there is inside. If you have something else, then you've chosen the wrong type of project. Okay, so we saw what a using statement is. Anytime I put like 2 forward slashes, what I'm doing is comments. So comments are going to be, comments begin with 2 forward slashes. Let us say that you want to like write a whole paragraph. You would start it like that. Multiple lines of comments. And then you can write whatever you want. And then that's how you close. So a comment that is open has to be closed. In case you don't close, everything becomes a comment. So we saw how to do using directive. Now we are looking at how to write comments. Okay, please practice these steps.